Ladies and gentlemen,
Probably too long. North Texas.
let's get ready to
Fight Club.
Woo! An exhilarating theme to start the Fight Club. All right, gentlemen. This is, I believe, this is the first semifinal match in
Final
our
four, if you
Fight
will.
Club. Oh yes, a part of our final four here. And gentlemen, this one's gonna be a fun one. All right, let's go ahead, Patrick. Please present our combatants on the screen for our audience to see. We have Dan Campbell.
Pick? No, oh, wait. Oh,
No,
wait.
wait.
Oh, no,
Oh.
wait. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's got blue on
It's
mine.
it's Dan Campbell versus Raheem Morris, the defending champion versus the sicko from Detroit, the psychopathic murder machine that I have created in my head, Dan Campbell. And so, let's talk about this. Listen, Dan Campbell for the last two Fight Clubs has been one of the favorites to make it to the finals, but he always seems to come up short despite his imposing stature and his chaotic and maybe even borderline psychotic nature. And then Raheem Morris, well, he has the backing, or at least last year he had the backing of FedEx and Arthur Smith.
He definitely did the last round we did.
Yeah. And still seems to be on the payroll. For what reasons we aren't quite clear on yet why he's getting backed by the person he replaced, but it's happening. It's happening. Maybe Arthur Smith is talking with what's the guy, Arthur Blank, and they're like, hey, listen, we need some representation in the Fight Club. You know, our own team isn't very good, but your success in the Fight Club is. And therefore, your success is our success. So let's make him successful. So, how are we doing this fight this week? Well, gentlemen, I'm going to pull inspiration of my fight from a very famous, or maybe infamous, horror slasher flick. I can't remember the name of the particular title, but it comes from Friday the 13th. Okay? I believe it's Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to New York. Is that it?
Oh, Goes to New York, solid. Part 6, Jason Lives, is easily the best of the series.
Jason
for my
Takes
money.
Manhattan, Part 8.
Yeah, Takes Manhattan. And that, I think that's before Jason Goes to Hell, or after. Is it right after Jason
This
Goes
is
to Hell?
1989. The next movie would be...
And then Jason doesn't go anywhere until he's popped up in space in Jason X. I know that. And he just misses the 90s.
You should probably keep going.
Oh, yeah. I will. All right.
This is right,
So-
right before Jason Goes to Hell, which was 1993, the final Friday. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
Right. Yeah, it's supposed to be the final Friday, and then
And
he
8
ends
years
up being a
later,
space
Jason
alien.
X.
All right. Well, gentlemen, let me bring you into this world, okay? Because in this
Mom?
case, our titular character, Jason, is being played by Dan Campbell, as he has been kind of a horror movie monster in every scenario brought to you. And this case is no different. No, this one's Dan Campbell Goes to Atlanta. All right. And Dan Campbell here, you know, he is walking through the streets nighttime of Atlanta, past all these strip clubs, bars, and he's on the hunt. And so every time the camera pans this way, you hear that but it's more like a crunching noises because it's like what it would sound like if he was biting actual kneecaps. So it's more like, you know, shit like that. All right. And he's walking around. Raheem Morris, he knows what's up. He knows what round we're in, and he knows who his opponent is. And he's been prepping. And just like that guy from Jason Takes Manhattan, he's in his own jumpsuit. All right? Like the boxer guy. And he's gonna make himself known. to Dan Campbell because he has the financial backing of FedEx, who's going to deliver him a myriad of weapons. But Raheem Morris, at his core, is a fighter. All he needs is some gloves that have been loaded with some brass nuts inside of them, and he's going to go to town. So at the top of the Mercedes, is it not Superdome? The Mercedes, the Mercedes Superdome is the one in New Orleans.
You're right.
I think there's two actually.
Yeah, so the one in
just
Atlanta,
like the American Airlines Center and Arena, except for these are actually just both the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, so this one's what, the Mercedes-Benz Arena or something?
I don't know if there's a differentiator. Is there one of the? Are they not both stadiums?
One's called Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
And Atlanta's which one? Atlanta or
Atlanta?
The Falcons play at Stadium.
And the New Orleans play at
the Superdome.
Superdome. Caesars Superdome.
Oh, it's Caesars now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Mercedes-Benz for a while. Okay.
Yeah, they were both. There was like a little conflict of interest.
There was a little lapse, but yeah, it has some Caesars. You own the New Orleans Arena now.
I was unaware. Apparently, no wonder I don't have any money right now. I'm pulling that shit out of my pocket. But anyway, so there he is. He's on the
crimes to cover. Sorry.
Listen, there on top of the stadium is Raheem Morris, and he's over there just shadow boxing. And around him, all different types of weapons, swords, nunchucks, bow staffs, spears, shields, anything you can think of. There's even an Iron Maiden in there. I don't know if that's much of a weapon, but maybe he can trap Dan Campbell in there. And as he's waiting, he sets out a signal into the sky, courtesy of equipment shipped to him by FedEx, saying, "Here I am, come find me." And just like in any horror slasher flick, without rhyme or reason, through some weird, dark, mystical art, Dan Campbell stands there, staring a hole right into Raheem Morris. And Raheem Morris decides, this is it. This is my time. He grabs his brass knucks, clanks his fists together, just bang. Kind of hurts himself a little bit. And he goes right at him. Bah, 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 bah. Uppercut, uppercut. Boom. Body punch, body punch, body punch. Dan Campbell is not reacting. Just boom, boom, boom. Thanks to some of the cybernetic enhancements that he has received in prior fights. And maybe some dabbling into the mystical arts, the dark mystic arts. Dan Campbell has become almost immune to this level of pain. But Raheem Morris, he is our champion for a reason. So, luckily for him, he has weapons set up all over the place. He grabs some daggers, puts them right into the knees of Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell starts to stumble a little bit. He grabs a club and starts smacking him in the back of the head. Dan Campbell is starting to falter just a bit. Just, ooh. And then here he comes, grabs the sword, and going for an overhead strike. Dan Campbell, one punch, bah! Shit smooth off right there. Raheem Morris flies. His head flies off of the stadium. His body remains on top. Boom. Lands onto the ground. Raheem Morris has been vanquished by the monster, Dan Campbell, who in my scenario proceeds to the finals. But you know what? It's just my scenario. I am one of 3 judges here. So with that said, Bethke, please. I would like
my inspiration is a very important one. Very cinematography, cinema, everything. Like, look, there's a movie right there called Tremors.
Just trying to figure out what we were watching. I can only see a sliver.
Actually, I think it's Tremors 2 now.
Oh God.
It's a Tremors marathon. So the 90s gave us a lot of important movies. One of them was by the best actor of the 90s by most people's recollection. Almost everybody says this, actually. This is one Steven Seagal. And this is a motion picture that I think is incredibly important to the world. It's called Hard to Kill, okay? And it's not too dissimilar to what's happening to Dan Campbell.
It's actually the same as the porn parody name.
That's beautiful.
I just made that up.
Well, you might like Hard to Drill or something, you know.
Yeah, if you want to be that on the nose.
But
Why wouldn't you?
I'm saying this person is hard to kill.
so, like the great Steven Seagal in this film, Dan Campbell is on a mission to uncover corruption. The corruption of the FedEx mob and the Atlanta Falcons' unblemished record in the Fight Club. But knowing this, the FedEx mob lays a hit on the Campbell family, leaving seemingly his entire family dead and putting him in a comatose state. Once he gets out of the comatose state, he seeks eternal revenge and goes on a quest to not only learn how to walk again, which he does incredibly quickly, but also to kick ass and take names, and also to find his missing son along the way. I don't know if Dan Campbell's got children at all, but now he has a son.
But he's missing.
Yeah, but if he's got other kids, they're dead canonically. If we're following the movie, so sad for them. But the one is still alive. So we're just one's still alive, and he's hunting them down. And he knows Raheem Morris has them. At this point, Raheem Morris has forgotten about Dan Campbell. He thinks he's dead. Breaks into the FedEx offices. Raheem Morris and his boys are playing some pool. Takes out the henchman. One of them knows a little bit of karate, so he breaks the pool cue in half and starts spinning him around. Doesn't matter. Dan Campbell's OP. Just one punches that guy. Another guy is on the ground already beat up. Tries to reach for a pool cue. Dan Campbell grabs his foot and just twists it. Just breaks that thing clean off. You know what I mean? Then he gets over. Then he just walks real slowly over to Raheem Morris at this point with no henchman. The FedEx mob is nowhere to be found. Grabs the man by the back of the wrist like that. You know what I mean? Walks up slow. Dan Campbell's got, Raheem Morris had the ability to fight back, but the aura oozing from Dan Campbell renders his opponent useless. And Dan Campbell majestically walks up to him and throat punches him to death. And ends the FedEx mob dead in its tracks. Because he's hard to kill.
All right.
The champion has fallen. But Patrick, we would still like to hear how your scenario played out.
Yeah. I had a couple different scenarios because obviously if I was going last, it could go.
Yeah, you have to plan for everything, unfortunately.
I really should have. What I didn't do and I should have done was script out something for if it especially doesn't matter. Make a decision on the fly. I'll tweak something I was thinking about.
You know what really we should do next year is give you one-time veto over any decision. That would make it an interesting one.
Or
because you do kind of get screwed.
Or we pre-record.
Pre-record is fine, but then it's like
we just watch each other's. We haven't seen them until we present.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't hate it.
Anyways, it's fine because this isn't going to be that good. Anyways, I'm glad I don't have to make any kind of choice here because this was a tough one in my head of how to handle the fight itself and the outcome and the legacy factors.
Yeah, the implications.
But yes, the implications. But yeah, no, I saw it kind of just like a regular boxing movie. Your Rocky types.
Yeah.
You're following Dan Campbell most of the movie because he's got to go up against the undefeated guy. Dan Campbell shown some promise. I think coming into this fight, he was third all time in number of fights, like ninth all time in win percentage.
Yeah, this isn't no dumb luck.
He's won his division 2 out of the 3 years. Big ups to Kevin O'Connell somehow winning one. But we're following Campbell. He's working out. He's watching tape. And Morris isn't a slouch. He didn't go undefeated by not putting in the work. Morris is going to be in the gym morning, evening, afternoon, some overnights. He pretty much sleeps back there. Has wife and kids. They don't see him in the
True
months,
to the FedEx brand.
in the months leading up to the fight. Yeah, he's always on. And so, we finally get to that final scene. Not a whole lot of interaction. They had the weigh in, but they were mostly quiet to each other. Morris looking at Campbell, and he's kind of like, oh, he's big. He is big. Like they were right. He's big. This is not a small guy. They weren't overhyping him. And Campbell's kind of looking at Morris like, well, he must be good. I don't see it, but he must be good. And this thing's gonna go 5 rounds. A lot of back and forth. Campbell heavy early, obviously the aggressor. Morris a little more calm, a little more experienced. He's never lost. So he's dancing. He's absorbing some hits, but he's defending himself well. Third and fourth rounds, a little more even, but Morris starting to pick up steam, starting to roll down the tracks. It's looking like it's going to end the way it always ends. Fifth round, Morris heavy attack at the beginning. His mistake, because Dan Campbell wanted that. Morris tires out, and then Dan Campbell, with the last bits of strength he has, bites both Morris's kneecaps and ends the FedEx dynasty.
Bites the entire, just like his jaw
Both.
unhinges.
It's 2 separate bites,
Yeah.
but he gets both
Naturally.
kneecaps.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Cinema.
Well,
The champion's down. This is the first time ever, guys.
dynasties come to an end.
No more Falcons domination over the Fight Club.
Not
Yeah.
You only finished in the top 4 this time.
That's right, buddy. Just wait till next year.
FedEx Mafia is gonna be scary. Who's gonna be their mob leader? Is it still gonna be Raheem Morris?
I think Morris will still be the fighter, but he's going to have guys like Penix Jr. backing him up. He's going to...
He's got the penis man coming.
Bijan, the mustard man. The mustard man.
Bajan.
Bijan. All right. He's going to have Drake.
Kyle
London.
Pitt Stains.
Oh.
Kyle Pitts Saints. There you go. And
Oh,
yeah.
So that makes Dan Campbell all
Wait,
time
does it?
7-3. Which actually puts him in 3 guys tied with never lost. Well, not anymore. Sorry, 2 guys tied, never lost. Raheem Morris now moves into...
What was FedEx's name again? Arthur Smith, right?
Arthur
Yeah.
Smith. Yeah. And you know what?
He took over the Titans. Do they become overpowered? Because it's Memphis. It's not Nashville.
It's the
It's
hub.
a little bit of a distance.
No, but Memphis
it's
is
not that
literally-
much of a distance.
Memphis is their hub, though.
Right, but they're
every-
in Nashville. The team is in Nashville.
Yeah, but
But
he's
that'd be
home.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
That's a
home.
helicopter.
yeah.
Yeah, that's home field for him right there.
Party bus.
That's something we should take into consideration for
That
next
is
year.
actually several hours, though, isn't it?
I think it's
What,
like a
Memphis to Nashville?
2-hour drive.
Oh,
I've
really?
actually done
Not
that
bad.
before. It's
Okay.
not
For some
bad.
reason, I was thinking they were like... I guess I was thinking
On
Nashville.
episode into the
No,
state.
it's
Must be the other side
Knoxville.
of the
If you're
state,
trying to
yeah.
get to Knoxville,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
where
yeah.
you got to go the other side. Yeah.
The only time I drove out there, we went to Oak Ridge, and that is far.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if I had to drive in, so I went through Arkansas, hit through the bridge into Memphis, ate lunch in Memphis, drove into Nashville, stayed the night. I'm pretty sure it was an hour and a half to Nashville from Memphis.
So
Okay, not bad at all. That's
No.
not...
Gentlemen,
That's
I-
me to the ballpark.
Now, I will say the traffic is crazy there if you drive. That is the one thing you will never experience that many. No, and here's why. It's not crazy because it's hard or anything. You will have never driven with as many 18-wheelers in your life. Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like
I bet-
it will, and it's 2-lane roads, so it's
I
just
bet
you and the
Seattle's
convoy,
probably
bro.
got an interesting
Yeah, I mean
with
that's
Amazon, but that's probably the next closest.
fair. Yeah. No, it was
I never thought
absolutely
about
weird.
that is funny. But yeah,
If-
every FedEx package I send, express at least, no matter where it's going, it goes to Memphis first.
absolutely, yep.
Yes.
I send
No, and
something to
it-
Hawaii, and they're like, the customer the next day is like, "Why is it in Tennessee?" And I'm just like, just calm down. They know
Yeah,
what they're
no.
doing.
It's just Memphis, brother. That's just how they roll.
That's
No,
just
it is.
their main
It
hub.
is really weird. The thing I would describe it as is a really stupid version of the people in the car at Jurassic Park with this
On the
big
track.
with the well, when they're like, I guess so, but like whenever Alan Grant in the first one, wherever the doctors have like their special tour and they're with all the herbivores and they're like looking at the giant, the bronchiosauruses and shit for the first time. And it's just like they're driving next to these big old things and it's just a ton of them. And like that, it's just like you're just this little thing. You're like, oh my God. You don't even see another like regular car for a mile or so. Oh my God. Yeah, it's just like 2 lanes in. It's awful, but it's hilarious at the same time. Yeah, so FedEx Mafia.
Well, gentlemen, I just realized something. Maybe there is a new backer for Raheem Morris. It's the Home Depot. Arthur Blank was the co-founder of the Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Yeah.
Home Depot
So
not
maybe
not as powerful as
not as
FedEx.
powerful, but he
FedEx
can bring the
is
lumber.
FedEx is different. They Amazon basically made sure that their business is
So I
the
guess
internet.
what you're saying is
really.
the Falcons need to get Baker Mayfield to get the true Home Depot buff.
Yes.
Perhaps, yes.
They need to bring Baker in. That'll make the fans happy.
Now,
1,
gentlemen,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
what do
7,
or
8, 9.
rather, Patrick, who does this leave us with for next week?
Next week in the Final Four, we have Mike Tomlin versus Pete Carroll.
Oh boy!
Another two pretty heady competitors. Mike Tomlin, 9-3 overall. He's had the most fights. He's 75 win percentage, 750, whatever you want to call it. He's good. He's good. Pete Carroll ain't no slouch on his own. He's coming in at 6-1 in his 7 fights. He's 4th all time.
Arguably,
win percentage.
Should be undefeated.
We could have made it, but I remember vividly he did not want him to go undefeated when he had a chance.
Decisions have been made.
Well,
Jacob was so mad the first year that Ron Rivera won the East that
it was so funny. No,
well, guy with cancer.
What
Cancer weakens the body. I mean, this is just there's just no way.
It is true.
Usually it's the treatment that weakens the body.
Yeah, but come on, what is he recovering?
No, okay, treatment just weakens it worse. Sorry.
Yeah, but in the same way that he was upset that Ron Rivera won, you were flabbergasted that Pete Carroll
anywhere close. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, Pete really is the source of all of this. Maybe you could argue that Ron Rivera is the source of all of this, but I think Pete was truly.
I'll have to go back and watch I'll have to go back and watch what order that actually happened in.
Who were the Giants were giving me day balls still at the time, right? And obviously it was McCarthy, and then what was the Eagles was Nick Sirianni. I guess that isn't the most compelling group to argue.
I mean, McCarthy and Dable are funny.
But it was like, one of the fat guys. Come on, one of the fat guys could take out the cancer guy. This is just all my point.
See, that's why I introduced the primetime rewind, though, because at that point I was like, well, what if it was Ron Rivera in his peak? Then there's no shot.
Yeah.
Well, we did away with that for this year. Now, so next week, y'all, we have Mike Tomlin, Pete Carroll, who wins and gets to face off against Dan Campbell for the 3rd annual Head Coach Fight Club Championship. You're just going to have to tune in and find out. Anyway, with that, are we going to go into a 4th quarter? Are we going to go, or are we just going to stick with it right now?
We're going to go into a 4th quarter.
No hockey.
Bye.